sit right here.
Ben, stop looking.
You are. Yes, I'm waiting for an air that I should marry, but they never showed up. 18 years. 18 years. So we gotta keep this. We're keeping this student. I didn't read any of my skateboard campus. They said, I read the first one, I read like 3%, and then I was like, does this even matter? So it was like the intro, like the preview and the intro, and then they said not really, just kind of tells us about it. And I was like, gosh, and it's on page 13.
Yeah, probably.
Attention, everybody. Everybody ready to start? Hello? Okay. Good evening, parents, current members, and candidates of La Sociedad Honoraria Hispanica and La Société Honoraire de Francais. Yes. We would like to start by giving a special thank you to our teachers, Senor Zimmerman, Madame Hickey, Senor Nagorny, Senor Lehman, and Frau Sawyer, our principals, Mr. Gay, Miss Bell, Dr. Bream, and our parents for attending tonight and supporting this endeavor. I am Kate Falkenstein, the president of La Sociedad Honoraria Hispanica. I am wearing red and gold cord tonight in honor of La Sociedad, just as Isatu Sawane, the president of her society, is wearing a red, white, and blue cord in honor of hers. All members will wear these cords to represent their commitment to language learning at graduation.
Hey everyone. It is the commitment to language learning that brings us together this evening. The group of students about to be inducted demonstrate a deep interest and dedication to the Spanish and French languages and cultures. To be eligible for candidacy in these societies, students must have excelled in 3 or more Spanish or French courses, received a 90% average in all Spanish and French classes they have taken, and earned an 85% GPA in all other classes. Students have long been honored for such a commitment. Maddie Kling, member-at-large of La Sociedad Honoraria Hispanica, will summarize their society's history and purpose.
La Sociedad Agraria Hispánica was founded by the American Association of Teachers of Spanish and Portuguese in 1953 for the students of North American secondary schools. This chapter was established by Senora Peg Felici, retiree of Northeastern Senior High School, in April 2004. The purpose of our society is to promote Spanish in our school and community by remembering that a language can be a strong tie between persons of differing origins, race, and religion. We will promote friendship and understanding between our country and the other lands of the world, and we will devote ourselves to continue the study of the Spanish language and culture while maintaining good character. Our motto is Todos a una, or all together. The society is represented by the colors of Spain's flag, which are red and gold. Our insignia and seal are those of the National Association, and our flower is the carnation, Spain's national flower. The name of this chapter is Puerta del Sol. Jordan Lemon, Vice President of this society, will now describe the Puerta del Sol in Madrid, Spain, and its symbolism for our chapter.
While Puerta del Sol is the official heart of the city of Madrid, much like Times Square in New York City, it is one of the busiest. First, the bear and strawberry statue, which is the symbol of Madrid. Second, the kilometer zero markers from which all of Spain's roads and highways start. Our school is symbolic of the Puerta del Sol in several ways. At times, the school is the center of community. People come together for sporting events and meetings such as this. Also, many things start at school and programs and progress from it, like relationships, friendships, careers, interests, goals, and aspirations. Many things are started and carried out through the time we spend in school. In all these ways, our school is symbolic of the Puerta del Sol. Taylor Lanier, co-historian of the French Honor Society, will summarize their society's history and purpose.
The Société Honoraire de Français is sponsored by the American Association of Teachers of French and recognizes high achievement in French at the secondary level. The AATF was founded in 1972 to serve French teachers in middle class. With nearly 10,000 members and 76 chapters across the U.S., the AATF is the largest national association of French teachers in the world. Our local chapter, Le Pont Neuf, is named after the oldest bridge in Paris. The society was renewed in 2010 by Madame Hickey. Emma Walker, co-historian, will now speak about the significance of the flower that is given to our candidate this year.
The iris is France's national flower, and a stylized version of the flower is used in the country's insignia and national emblem. The iris, or fleur de lis, has been used to represent French royalty since the 13th century and is said to signify perfection, light, and life. In heraldic designs used by the French monarchy, 3 petals also represented wisdom, faith, and chivalry. At this time, Trent Stauffer, the treasurer of La Société, will talk about the name of our French Honor Society.
Our society is called Le Pont Neuf since we are seeking to build a bridge between our French program and the community. Membership in La Société is based on scholarship in general studies and French. Our members demonstrate an interest and commitment to the French language and culture. Shayla Orman, parliamentarian of La Sociedad Honoraire Hispánica, and Isatu Salame will now introduce 2 people who embody the purposes of our societies.
time, it's my pleasure to introduce our first guest speaker for this evening. La Senorita Brittany Haynes is a 2015 Northeastern graduate and a current junior at York College majoring in Spanish.
Good evening. As she said, my name is Brittany Haynes and I'm a junior at York College studying Spanish and Human Services. I graduated from Northeastern in 2015 where I took up to AP Spanish. I took my first Spanish class in 8th grade. Prior to this, the most exposure I had to the Spanish culture was watching Dora the Explorer and having tacos for dinner once a week. My parents had never traveled out of the country or ventured away from the East Coast. Taking intro to Spanish sparked my passion for traveling and helped me see there was a whole world out there that before I had never known anything about. In addition to the language skills I gained, I also gained an open mind and a strong desire to see as much of the world as possible. Since my first Spanish class at Northeastern, I've studied abroad in Ecuador and the Galapagos Islands as well as Chile, in addition to the 12 other countries I have visited. My time in the Galapagos and Ecuador was for a geography course that was taught in English. I was the only one in the group who could speak any Spanish at all. While everyone in the group was interacting with one another, I was blessed with the opportunity to interact with the locals. I found in all of my travels that language can be a huge barrier, but it can also be a beautiful tool to understand more of the culture and get to know the people. A month after my return from Ecuador, I was back on a plane headed to Viña del Mar, Chile, where I lived with a host family and studied Spanish language and culture for 4.5 months. During my time in Chile, I was able to travel throughout the country and to Argentina as well. Here, I made friends from all over the United States as well as different countries around the world, like France, Germany, Mexico, and many others. While we had all come from different parts of the world where different languages are spoken, we were all united by one thing, the Spanish language. I also had the opportunity to volunteer in an orphanage and elementary school while I was there. My experience at the orphanage working with these incredible children caused me to add my major of human services and pushed me further into the direction of joining the Peace Corps after graduation. I will forever be grateful to Senora Zimmerman and Senora Felici for sharing their passion of the Spanish language with me and making me just as passionate about it as well. Spanish has opened so many doors for me, and I know that it will do the same for all of you if you let it. While it may be frustrating and difficult at times, it will always be worth it. Good luck in your future endeavors, and congratulations on your acceptance into the National Spanish and French Honor Societies. Thank you.
And now it's my pleasure to introduce our second guest speaker for this evening, La Senorita Sierra Ankney, a 2015 Northeastern graduate and a current junior at West Virginia University.
Like she said, I am a senior at West Virginia University. My major is journalism, and I have a Spanish and strategic social media minor. Like Brittany, I also graduated in 2015 and was inducted into the National Spanish Honor Society in 2012, which seems like a decade ago. Since then, my Spanish speaking skills and comprehension of the language has grown dramatically. While I was studying the language in high school, I never thought that I would still be as intrigued and passionate about the language and culture beyond what Senora Zimmerman and Senora Felici was teaching us. However, when I got to West Virginia, I decided pretty quickly on a minor. Journalism was already something that I knew that I wanted to pursue in college, but beyond that, I had no clue. I thought about choosing a political science minor, but quickly discovered that I wasn't actually as interested in it as I thought I was. So naturally, I chose Spanish due to all of the years of classes that I took while at NHS. Also, every adult ever loves to mention how much more valuable you are as a future employee if you speak a second language. So I thought, why not? Now with only 2 more semesters to go, I definitely don't regret the choice that I made. I was lucky enough to take AP Spanish Language and Culture as a junior, which was not easy. However, I scored high enough on the exam to get out of taking the lower level Spanish classes my freshman year at WVU. I didn't know what to expect going into my first class. I was nervous that I would have an instructor I wouldn't understand, or that I would be thrown into a difficult course where I was forced to read old Spanish novels. It was exactly the opposite. While every class I have taken within my minor at WVU has been taught completely in Spanish, I was one of the few students in my class who actually understood what was going on. The curriculum and vocabulary of the first few courses I took were similar to that of Spanish 2 and Spanish 3 at NHS. I passed with an A+. I strongly encourage each and every one of you to keep pursuing the study of the language and culture, knowing that different Spanish-speaking countries have different dialects and use different words for common objects, comes in handy when you have one professor from Argentina and another one from Spain. Practice speaking to your friends in casual conversations, listen to Spanish music, immerse yourself in the language. It has more benefits than just looking good to a future employer. You'll be able to empathize with Spanish speakers and maybe help someone out who doesn't fully speak English. The more you know, the more fun it is to embrace. Thank you, congratulations to everybody.
Okay, at this time, I have the pleasure of introducing another speaker for this evening, Kayla Zimmerman, a Northeastern graduate, as well as a graduate of Lebanon Valley College.
Good evening, everyone. I graduated from LBC in 2013, and I actually was here when we started the French Honor Society, so this is very exciting for me. I'm so happy. When I was a freshman, it was actually the first year that Mrs. Hickey started working here, so I have had the pleasure of knowing her all the years that she has worked here, so that's really exciting for me. And also, while I was a student here, we still visited LBC, which is my college, for International Culture Day. Unfortunately, they stopped that program, so I know a lot of the recent students haven't been able to go there, but we did have the pleasure of going there, and my senior year we actually won second place, and I remember that. That was a really good, really awesome thing for me because I was the president and I wanted us to win something while we were going here. While I was at LBC, I was a double major in international relations and French, and there I helped start the Global Education Club, which was a combination of students in international relations in different languages and the international students at our college. And there we worked to talk about global problems with the campus, because our campus there was pretty small. And unfortunately, like some smaller campuses, it's mostly people that are all the same, from the same area, all from Pennsylvania. So it was important for us to start a program where we could teach other people about other cultures. And with that club, we also started the food festival, which we did every year, and we would each do our own table. I did the French table for 2 years, and we would make a food from that country and share it with everyone at the college. And then my senior year, I actually got to study abroad in France, and there I was able to live with a host family, and I also got to travel to Paris. I studied abroad in Montpellier, which is in the south of France, so it's more like a beach town, like Florida or something like that. But it was really nice, really laid back. And there I also worked at the Red Cross. Can you go to the next slide? Is there more pictures? Yeah. The next one. Oh yeah, there you go. Okay. When I was there, I volunteered at the Red Cross. So there I actually got to see some refugees coming into France from Syria, from Italy, and there I actually got to help people who didn't know the French language, who maybe knew some English. I could speak to them in English, or even if they didn't know any English, I could try to learn some Italian or something and help them out. And so when I came back, I actually graduated in May, and all that time I had been looking for a job. And finally, this month I actually got hired as a welfare worker at the York County Assistance Office, which I feel like is really close to what I wanted to do. I want to help people. I really like interacting with people from different areas of life. And it really goes back to when I was at the Red Cross in France. I think that's one of the reasons why they decided to hire me, because they know I can talk to people who maybe don't speak English, who maybe don't speak French. You know, if you know a different language, you can try to help people out. Even if they don't speak the same language you speak, you know what it's like to learn a different language, to be the outsider in certain aspects of life. So my advice to you is just stick with it. It might get harder. I mean, college is hard. I actually had some teachers where we just read some boring books, unfortunately, but you know, it's still worth sticking with. And you may not be able to take a ton of classes in college, but stick with it and study abroad if you can, because it's just the best. It's the best experience of my life. I would never have gone to college without doing that. I can't. If you tell me I had to go back to college and not study abroad, I would just not. I would not go. So study abroad. Study abroad. Go to a different country. And just have fun. And congratulations to everyone.
Thank you very much, Kayla, Sarah, and Brittany, for enlightening us with your language experiences. Madame Hickey is delighted to offer our current students a similar experience. She is hosting a trip to Madrid, Paris, and Munich from July 9th to July 18th, 2019. And perhaps you all will be guest speakers at a future induction ceremony, sharing your dedication and commitment to learning the French and Spanish and German languages. If interested, see Madame Hickey after the ceremony for a brochure and more information. Undoubtedly, travel promotes unity, peace, and understanding among all lands. To symbolize these values, our peace candle is lit. To exemplify this fundamental understanding, Nelly, an inductee of La Sociedad Honoraria Hispánica, will read a poem by an anonymous author titled "What is Friendship?" You will find the words of the poem in your card.
Hey everyone, Nelly. Soy esto. ¿Qué es la amistad? Es una puerta que se abre, una mano que se extienda, una sonrisa que te alienta, una mirada que te comprende, una lágrima que se une a tu dolor, una palabra que te anima, una crítica que te mejora, es un abrazo de perdón, un aplauso que te estimula, un encuentro que te reconocía, un favor sin recompensa, un dar sin exigir, una entrega sin calcular, una espera sin cansancio.
This poem reminds us that we must work together to create friendship across societies, schools, and even countries. In addition to friendship, we must promote cultural understanding wherever we go. The French society also has a foundational element.
L'homme qui te ressemble by René Filon. You will find the words and translation of the poem in your program. The man who resembles you. J'ai frappé à ta porte, j'ai frappé à ton cœur, pour avoir un bon lit, pour avoir un bon feu. Pourquoi me repousser? Ouvre-moi, mon frère. Pourquoi me demander si je suis d'Amérique, si je suis d'Asie, si je suis d'Europe? Ouvre-moi, mon frère. Pourquoi me demander la longueur de mon nez, l'épaisseur de ma bouche, la couleur de ma peau et le nom de mes dieux? Ouvre-moi, mon frère. Je ne suis pas un noir, je ne suis pas un rouge, je ne suis pas un blanc, mais je ne suis qu'un homme. Ouvre-moi, mon frère. Ouvre-moi ta porte, ouvre-moi ton cœur, car je suis un homme, l'homme de tout le temps, l'homme de tous les cieux, l'homme qui te ressemble.
Hey. So this year, Le Pont Neuf has made changes to our bylaws, and only students in French 3 or higher are now eligible for membership. This is a change from previous years, and therefore they have one candidate eligible and who has met the requirements who isn't already in the society. Can the president of the Spanish Society come up here?
We, as the presidents of both societies, will now introduce our candidates.
Jess Herman, can you come up here?
Okay, I'm going to go with applause at the end because there's like 25 kids. I know you love your kids, but... Okay. Isabel Bortner, Grayson Garman, Sarah Hine, Brandon Hennel, Alana Josie, Elisabel Lacourt Ruiz, Madison Lockman, Bennett Lee, Brooke McDonald, Charlie Amo, Dylan Amo, Obaniah Amakanjo, Madison Seacrest, Sage Senate, Alexandra Senko, Kelsey Sharp, Thora Shepard, Naya Stahl, Kevin Torres, Ben Walter, Madison Wrightstone, and Abigail Zimmerman. And I'd also like to recognize the people that were unable to come this evening that are also being inducted: Chidi Golden, Holly Myers, Rachel Reeser, and Caleb Riegel. Each candidate will receive a candle that exemplifies our course of life. We can choose to be the light of peace as well as the reflection of that light that passes on that understanding.
Please come forward to receive the light from our society's peace candle, which symbolizes the inspiration toward higher ideals as a unified society. Be careful.
If it blows out, we're not letting you get inducted.
Someone blow out
Fairly rare.
So after that wonderful lighting of candles, okay, we're gonna do an oath. So please repeat the oath of the society, phrase by phrase, after me. As a member of the Puerto del Sol chapter, I promise to devote myself to the study of the Spanish language. In order to master it someday. Remembering that a language can be a strong tie. Between persons of different origins. Of race or religion. As a citizen of my country. I promise to promote friendship and understanding. Between it and the other lands of the world. This is my promise and my oath. Now the candidates will blow out the flames of their candles, but never their spirits. Inductees, by the authority granted by me, granted by me by the Puerto del Sol chapter, I now declare you all members of this chapter. Sorry, I didn't think of that.
Okay, to our single inductee in the back. Can you hear me, Jez? Yeah. Okay. Please repeat the oath of the society and our motto, phrase by phrase, after me. As a member of the La Ponte chapter,
As a member of the Lecompton chapter,
I promise to devote myself
I promise to devote myself
to the promotion of the French language and culture,
to the promotion of the French language and culture,
and let this light symbolize my commitment
and let this light symbolize my commitment
to international understanding
to earn national understanding
and guide me to promote friendship
and guide me to promote friendship
between our country
between our country
and other countries of the world.
and other countries of the world.
L'homme qui sait de langue en vaut deux.
Can you repeat that?
Yeah, I got you. L'homme qui sait de langue
L'homme qui sait de langue
en vaut deux.
en vaut deux.
All right. By the authority granted me by the Lecompton chapter, I now declare you a member of this chapter. Now please blow out the flame of your candle, but never its spirit.
Yay.
All new Sociedad Aurora Hispanica members will now come forward to receive a red carnation from Senor Zimmerman and an official certificate provided by the American Association of Teachers of Spanish and Portuguese. I promise their actual certificates are not blank pieces of paper until we get their certificates.
Provided by the American Association of Teachers of French. We would like to thank all of you for your attendance tonight. Please join us for refreshments where all new members will sign the register. Congratulations to all of our new members.
Hey guys, we almost forgot the register book, so you're just going to get some. Don't worry about signing.